mentioned about many things. I'll save the last day to the last day and what happens when my body gave way, but I'll mention in the beginning. The beginning, I was young and I was working as a merchandise handler, helping the catalog department deliver their packages in 1997 during the $1 million sales that it had made. Now, you know, we had a good unit when we were doing this. Like, sales catalog was big, and you know, I think Penney had the best catalog sales of any other company at the time, until Amazon came and, you know, they just swept everyone. And then the retail stores started dying because people were buying it online. But, you know, Penney could have been on the mark with that long before. And if they were long before, maybe they would have done as good as they would have. But they're trying to be a brick and mortar store when, you know, finding their place in shopping, in a place of shopping where stores like Macy's, Nordstrom's, and other places aren't doing very well as they were, because people want to shop elsewhere during the pandemic, and after, it's finding that crowd is hard. People want to stay in and buy stuff, so on and so forth. You look at the malls, they're emptier than they were, which is sad. But I'm going to discuss $1 million sales in 1997, not the logistics of it, but I remember when I was a rookie, my first year, I had to find these packages. They kept on calling me left and right. Do you know where this number is? Do you know where this number is? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I ask for help. I can't find it. Somebody found it. I delivered it. But it was one of those surreal moments that, you know, you're making history when you're doing it and you don't realize it at the time. But I was during that time that I learned, and I had to learn quick, because, you know, they didn't want any slouch, you know, doing the job. They wanted somebody good. So I, you know, performed, and I performed well, and I had that eye. I could look for stuff. I could navigate. I could find these numbers. Eventually, you know, I did it well, and, you know, it's like I wasn't distracted. Maybe I went to school, but I wasn't. In 98, it was different, but 97, I was happy. Like, I handled it. I did it well, and, I wasn't worried, and I, did my job, and, I did it. And, mention the thing about the lateness. Oh God. Oh, my poor work performance with lates. Oh boy. But, you know, I handled my job the best way that I could handle my job. You know? And I had to navigate, find these boxes, and bring them down quick. They had a door guard there. Door guard logged them in. They called me when they needed a merchandise handler. And this is before the time where they had walkie-talkies that they were using really until it got introduced. And they used a pager. If you lost that pager, you weren't getting your call. So I got page 342 346 350 499 0. Anybody who knows those numbers, who's listening and was from wherever I am, was working on, you know those numbers. I don't know if they're around anymore, but they were around when I was working. And you know, it's like, and saying that is like, you had to handle these calls left and right. And I know I was going to mention to you about catalog, but I'm going to mention this in between. Positioning the items right when you have a lot of packages, which I learned. And I could teach that too. That's going to be my premium video for this subscribers club part. I'm not giving that away for free. I'm going to make you work for that one. But I'm going to say that doing catalog, you had to work with anxiety, you had to work with other calls. I mean, it was like you were getting calls left and right, and it was like boom, 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 handling, boom, boom. Everything was quick. And you had to clean in the back, you had to do whatever. What did you do in your downtime? Well, I guess I was breaking the rules a little bit, but my secrets. I was reading on the dock sometimes when, you know, everything was handled, and, you know, I probably didn't want to go on the floor. Which I'll get to the politics in that in a minute. The politics of the floor. This is where, but we're doing the video on, but this is my earlier years. My later years, I was working. But, I mean, when you have catalog, you gotta do it, you gotta perform, You have no time to slouch. You gotta work. And that's what I did. The first year, busting my ass, and our performance exceeded. I don't know if I was one who helped with that, maybe, but it was a team effort. We had a good catalog team in the front, a good team in the back helping. We had a good attitude. We were young and it was one of those things. We were well presented down with the door guards, and eventually they got rid of that, but hey, it was one of those things that was very good. So, next video, I'm going to discuss on packing things if you're a merchandise handler, and that's going to be a video that's going to be on premium, so you're going to want to be on the subscribers club with that. Also, check out Joe's experiences with eBay. That's a show that I do discussing my experiences with eBay. Just as I have experiences with retail and goaltending, I have experiences with eBay. Plus, check out the archives of the Joseph Vivaldi Network. We have a show that features previous content that was on the Joseph Vivaldi Network, such as the Ricky years and the earlier years. So, those are the podcasts such as Ricky and Wolfman, Totem Wolf, and Bearheart, Yesterday's News with Joe Vexter and Kurt, Slow Mo Joe, Timeless Poetry, and much, much more. So, have a good day.